Good Wednesday morning, everyone, and welcome into today's daily Bible reading for July the 17th. Today we are reading together Psalm number 87. Psalm number 87 has been given the title in my Bible, Zion, the City of God. The superscription tells us that this is a psalm of the sons of Korah. It is a song, and this is a Zion psalm. There have been a couple of those we've seen already back in Psalms 46 and 48, both of those being attributed to the sons of Korah as well. And this is a short and sweet psalm which anticipates what the psalmist certainly understands to be the end goal. The end goal of all people being drawn into the presence of God, being numbered among his people, for the whole earth belongs to God. And we're going to see here in this psalm, again, the anticipation of these sons of Korah in this song of praise, again, anticipating the end result of all people belonging to God. Let me get the text up on the screen and we'll read along together here in Psalm number 87. Psalm 87, we're reading together beginning of verse number 1. Psalm 87, verse number 1, the city he founded is on the holy mountains. Yahweh loves Zion's city gates more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things are said about you, city of God. Selah. I will make a record of those who know me. Rahab, Babylon, Philistia, Tyre, and Cush. Each one was born here. And it will be said of Zion, this one and that one were born in her. The Most High himself will establish her. When he registers the peoples, Yahweh will record, this one was born here. Or excuse me, this one was born there. Selah. Singers and dancers alike will say, my whole source of joy is in you. Again, the short psalm of Psalm 87, yet it has a very powerful and an important message that Yahweh desires for all people to belong to him. In verse number 1, the city he founded is on the holy mountains. Well, did God found the city of Jerusalem? Because there's really a couple of different levels to look at this. People could read this and think about Jerusalem as a physical city, or they could think of it as a greater spiritual reality. And I think that's really what's getting at, what this psalm is getting at, something that is going to be coming further down the line in the future, not the physical city of Jerusalem, but the heavenly Jerusalem that is spoken about in a number of different texts of the prophets. I think specifically about what is written in Hebrews chapter 12, I believe it is, where it talks about coming to Mount Zion, to the heavenly Jerusalem. That's what's in mind. That's what's at on the minds, I believe, of the sons of Korah. Or actually, let me think. What I should be saying is they're envisioning Yahweh's city of Jerusalem as being the representation of the greater reality, I believe. So whenever it comes to Jerusalem, yeah, it was founded on the holy mountains. But why was it founded, or why are the mountains holy? Did God choose the greatest and biggest and strongest looking mountain on which to found his city? Well, the fact of the matter is that's a no. He didn't. Going back to Psalm 68, we read this a few weeks ago. In Psalm 68, talks about how Mount Bashan is God's towering mountain. Mount Bashan is a mountain of many peaks. Why gaze with envy, you mountain peaks, at the mountain God desired for his abode? Yahweh will dwell there forever. It wasn't the greatest or the highest mountain around, but it was the one God chose. And because he chose it, it made it holy. It was holy because God is there. God didn't go there because it was already holy. See, the impetus of everything that happens, the holiness that results is a result of what God is doing. Think about even just the nation of Israel as a whole. God didn't choose it because it was already a great and powerful people. It was two old people who had no hope of the future. Even those who belong to Christ today, we are not chosen by God because we are great, but we were chosen by God to be great in Christ. So God has founded this city on the holy mountains, and the text says that he loves Zion's city gates. He loves it more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things are said about you, city of God. So two characteristics that are defining here of this great spiritual metropolis, as one writer said, are the fact that it is stable, the city gates are strong, and then it is glorious. Again, the question is, why is it glorious? Well, it's glorious because God belongs there. He's allowed his presence to dwell there. So this great destined metropolis for Jews and Gentiles alike is raised up. It is the city on the hilltop. But why do I mention Gentiles? Well, because they're mentioned in verse number 4. I will make known, this seems to be God's voice. I will make known, or will make a record of those who know me, who have a relationship with me. Rahab, which many believe to be representing Egypt, and Babylon, Philistia, Tyre, and Cush. Babylon and Philistia being two strong nations, one on the eastern side, Babylon of Israel, one on the western side. Philistia, Tyre was a rich and affluent nation. Cush is far away. Ethiopia was far away. So we have all of these things, different things represented. This great enemy and this world power of Egypt, these two strong powers and even enemies at many times, Babylon and Philistia. Tyre, this affluent nation. Cush, this nation from far away. These nations are not Israel. In fact, some are near Israel, but some are very far away from Israel. But even they will have a place in Zion. Even for them, it will be said that they were born there in Zion. That God is going to allow them to be a part of his holy nation and holy people and holy city. It will be said of Zion that this one and that one were born here, or born in her. The Most High himself will establish her. So here is this, again, it's so much more than just physical Jerusalem. It's anticipating something so much greater and so much better. And it is the realization that this psalm gets us to, that when he registers a people, when he notes everybody who belongs within his city, that Yahweh's going to record that, again, this one was born there, this one belongs to me, and it is this desire that he has for all people to belong to him, all people to be a part of his people, all people to be residents within his city, which again can't happen in single Jerusalem. That can't happen with physical historical Jerusalem, but with something that expands beyond that is greater than just a single place. This can be true. And we see a final characteristic of this city that singers and dancers alike will say, my whole source of joy is in you. So this is a city that is defined by its stability, it's defined by its gloriousness, it's defined as being a source of joy for all who belong to it. So the question then becomes, are we citizens of that city? Again, we're not talking about a physical city. It's hard to maybe grasp the what they conceptualize as being Jerusalem. Again, from their perspective, I'm sure they were really thinking of Jerusalem, that this would be the city that all nations would flow into. I think about Isaiah 2 and some of these other texts which talk about Zion and Mount Zion and people flowing into it. Maybe they were thinking this, but we have the benefit of looking backwards and seeing exactly how things are playing out, and that this is so much bigger than just a single place. And that's not really a place, but instead it's a person. It's the person of Jesus and those who are joined and a part of his body and who are a part of his nation of believers who have submitted themselves to him as king. So even the sons of Korah recognize that God's desire was not just for Israel, but for all people. So maybe they really took to heart the instruction that was given to the Israelites before as they were meeting at Sinai in Exodus 19, where he spoke of you being a kingdom of priests to the nations. And he talks about how out of all the nations, even though they all belong to me, you are my special people. But anticipating the fact that they would all be drawn back to God at some point in the future. We know that certainly is the case. Thanks be to him that he has made that possible through Jesus, through his sacrifice of drawing to himself not just his people, but all peoples, those of Rahab and Egypt, Babylon, Philistia, Tyre, Cush, Ethiopia, all of those and all the nations of the earth now can belong to him. Again, not having to go to a place. It's not about a place anymore, but it's about a person. It's about that person of Jesus, and that we can all belong to his body, which is made up of believers. We can all belong to his kingdom and his nation of priests through our faith, trust, and surrender to him. If you have any questions or comments about Psalm 87, please feel free to leave that in the comment section below. And I do appreciate you taking some time reading along with me on this Wednesday, and looking forward to seeing everybody tonight for our Bible study beginning at 7. We will be back at it again on Friday, reading together from Psalm 88, a cry of desperation. We're told that this is, again, a song, a psalm of the sons of Korah. And it is according to a particular tune, Mahalath Lenanoth, and it is a Maskil of Heman the Ezrahite. So again, a little bit more detail there. We'll flesh that out a little bit and work through this psalm coming up on Friday morning. Hope to see you then, and hope to see you tonight as well. Take care, and God bless.